I'm making this video to open up a discussion about advertising cigarettes, alcohol, and prescription drugs. I feel as though this topic is often overlooked by people. Reality is, these things have a large impact on society today, and they should be discussed. Before I wrote a paper on the topic, I thought my views were clear. I felt that all bans on cigarette advertisements were fair. I have never lived in a time when they were acceptable on television or radio. And until recently, after looking through my boyfriend's car magazines, I hadn't known they were allowed in magazines. All the magazines I had read, Cosmo, Allure, are women's magazines, but I found out that many men's magazines have them. On the other hand, I have always been okay with ads for prescription drugs and alcohol on TV because it was just normal for me to see. Now I find myself questioning, how is this fair? I came up with 3 questions to ask yourself about the topic and answer them with either a video response or a comment. The questions are, do you feel that banning cigarettes, alcohol, or prescription drugs from being able to advertise in certain places violates Americans' right to freedom of speech? Do you think allowing these types of advertisements would negatively affect Americans' health? And how do you think this controversy should be dealt with?
I think that cigarette, alcohol, and prescription drug advertising should be regulated and monitored by the government, but not prohibited. I do not think this infringes on the First Amendment because of how advertising has evolved in our technology-driven society today. Let me explain what I mean. Advertising today uses very deceptive and misleading ways to sell a product or service. Many of us get tricked into what is the truth about what the product promises to do. In reference to prescriptions, alcohol, and tobacco products, they are addictive, and a lot of people, once they start, can't stop even when they want to, and also generally need more and more. I think the government needs to watch over us and regulate and monitor all industry when it comes down to making the mighty dollar. I believe when our forefathers wrote the First Amendment, its intention was to allow individual people to have the freedom of speech, not companies that can, as I said before, trick you into buying something to make a buck. Everyone in this country has been duped, fooled, tricked, misled, however you want to say it, in their lifetime when they have bought something that was misrepresented by the advertising, and they saw that made them decide to buy the product in the first place. That has a direct negative effect on that person, either with their health or their attitude or even their trust in future advertisements and purchasing decisions. By limiting and regulating these advertisements, I think it would be more responsible of our government to help prevent people from becoming addicted and in turn help more people lead productive and coherent lives.
I feel that banning cigarettes from advertising is a violation of the First Amendment, which is the freedom of speech. I feel this way because by not allowing companies to advertise their products on the radio, television, and billboards is a violation of their rights. This is unfair because companies that sell equally harmful products are allowed to exercise their freedom of speech. I think allowing these companies to advertise their products has a negative effect on the health of Americans only if they do not properly inform them. Currently, these companies do not properly and fully inform Americans on their products. I feel if these companies are going to be allowed to continue to advertise, they should inform the public on all the effects of their products, including the negative effects.